Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to a late night stream. We are here to talk about what is going on in the world of television tonight. So, um, I'm just going to jump right into it because it's late and everybody wants to know what's going on. So, we just had a fun filled weekend, not knowing whether the unions were going to go ahead and strike and put all of the content for the 2022 platform on hold. And so here we are now. The today, yesterday, last night, late last night, there was an announcement that there has been a tentative deal brought out on the table, and that this deal was, basically this new negotiation, this new contract that's on the table does stop the um, strike, and it does put the workers on what will be in 30 minutes or so. At 12 o'clock, we'll put them back to work, and it'll be like nobody ever left their desk. Now, here's where things get a little spicy. Now, this contract has not been ratified yet, so there is a ratification process. And basically, this means that now that the contract has been approved by the union representatives across the 13 unions in Hollywood, that the contract now has to get put into verbiage that the union members can read, and then they are going to vote whether to ratify this or not. So there is another vote coming from the members, probably over the next week or two or three. Hopefully, it doesn't wait that long. But this could still be a major issue. It's not over yet. This does keep the wheels turning right now for the next, until the language is put out to the members to vote. So everything is going to still keep spinning. Mandolorian 3 will keep on shooting. Actors will show up. Participants in the union will show up. So, directors of photography, lighting, makeup, audio, all that stuff. So everybody is going to continue to work as it sits right now. However, there are a lot of rumblings that this deal is not going to hold, and that the members are going to vote no to ratify this deal. Now, that puts everything back on hold. So at that point, we would start negotiations all over again. Only with each ticking day, the members lose money because they're not on set working. The studios lose money because all of their live shows, everything from late night shows such as Kimmel and Fallon and all of those late night shows, if you're a late night show person, fast forwarding to the primetime slots such as The Voice and other live shows that happen on a daily and weekly basis. Now, we know that this won't affect sports. We know that this won't affect the news, but it will affect any episodic that is live in front of a studio audience, or that is live outright. So this could still put a damper on things. This tentative deal right now is basically a position holder as it sits right now, because there are rumblings all over the internet right now that the members are pissed. The members are outright pissed, and they do not want to ratify this deal. So it broke yesterday, and there's another reason that the members are upset. It's because the details of this deal were released to Vanity and other news publications before that they were released to the members of the union. So however they got it doesn't really matter. The union members are really pissed that They didn't get details before the media did, and that honestly kind of puts the negotiating deal, um, makes it kind of suspect, because who's leaking this stuff to the press and who's showing what hands are getting dealt. So, yeah, a lot of members are pissed. So basically, there it was a Vanity Fair article, and I'm going to take a look at this real quick. There's a Vanity Fair article that came out at 1 o'clock on the 17th, which is today. So at 1:01 p.m. And basically, this Vanity Fair article says that the IATSE deal could be rejected by members, which is what I was just talking about. And it quotes, "Our leadership has let us down." So there, if you go across this, I'm just going to read some of this for you guys, and if you can look this up yourself if you really wanted to. But basically, many members of the IATSE say they will vote against ratifying a new contract with the major studios because it does not do enough to address the working conditions on set. The deal announced Saturday afternoon, so yesterday afternoon, averts a strike that would have shut down film and television production nationwide starting Monday morning. But in interviews and online chatter, many workers have expressed frustration with the terms and have said they will reject this deal. So again, this is another step in this process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen probably even by Friday. But the lawyers have to take this contract and put it into, basically take it from the legal jargon and put it into words that everybody can understand. And then they're going to send that out to the members, and the members are going to vote. Now, I have not heard of one single member saying that they are going to vote yes to ratify this. So that means that the members themselves, not the negotiating team, but the members themselves, could put the entire union on strike as far as television and film. So there's a lot of staying points. There's a lot of working condition issues that are not addressed, that frankly, the deal looks very similar based on what the outlines that we've been given. Things look very similar to the way that they were prior to these negotiations. And yes, there were concessions on both sides. However, a lot of members feel that there weren't enough. It wasn't enough, unfortunately. And for something like this, that is an unprecedented thing. I mean, in the 128 years of the IATSE television and film unions, this has never happened. There's never been solidarity amongst all of the union members to join hands and say no more. There have been writer strikes. There have been all kinds of other things that have gone on over the years, but nothing to this caliber, nothing that is this large. So it's a very big deal. And the members feel like if we are willing to stop working and we are willing to put our bank accounts, our savings and all of that on the line to continue to pay our bills during this strike, then the negotiation team should push a little harder. I mean, it was a 98% turnout of the 90% eligible voters to call for the strike. So this is still up in the air. It's not over. I wish it was over. I wish the deal came through and all parties were happy. That would have made everything gravy in the Navy. But unfortunately, there are still a lot of parties that are not happy. And this affects many unions. This isn't just one union and one group of people that's saying, okay, we want this and that's it. Oh, we got that. Great. This is 13 different unions. So there's 60 people in the room negotiating all of these things. And one of the biggest things that that people are upset about, aside from wage scale, aside from all that stuff, right? People are the most upset over the meal issues, as far as the penalty that is ensued to the production, the dollar and cent penalty that is accrued by the production when crew misses meal or they go past their meal time. And for each, there is a chart, I'm sure, somewhere that breaks down, here's how it goes based on this time. Okay, you missed lunch for this amount of time, you missed lunch for this amount of time. But really it comes down to, between meals and breaking for meals and turnaround time. It really, nothing changed really on those two fronts. Yes, I hear there is a down the line meal penalty um, change that costs the production money once you're deep into meal penalties. And then people are also upset about the turnaround. I mean, a 10-hour turnaround is not uncommon in this industry. Which, and that's from the time you leave set to the time you're back on set, which is 10 hours. And if you live, an hour away from your home, that's, cut 2 hours off of that. Now you have 8 hours to uh, rest, shower, shave, whatever you do in your off time, and get back to set. So this is again, it's still going on. I wish it was done. I wish there was no more having to deal with this. But like I said, I have been all over trolling the internet, scanning the internet, trying to find somebody that's going to vote yes, that's not in the leadership, that's not in on the negotiating team. The negotiating team is really excited about this. They're really happy about this. They're explaining things to everybody, and are pushing for a yes vote for ratification. However, the members, I was in a meeting today, a Zoom meeting today with over 500 members of one union. And there were a lot of upset people in that. There were a lot of questions as to what's going what, and how are they robbing Peter to pay Paul. And it's very frustrating, especially on a day when they're talking about this contract and, oh, we can't give more money, and, oh, we can't give more royalties. And then you hear about streaming services like Netflix making $815 million on Squid Games, right? This is the problem here. It has nothing to do with, people wanting more or people being greedy. This is the corporations that are taking advantage of the contracts right now, and it's very troubling. So it's just hearing that the day after they announced this, what many are calling, I haven't read the fine language yet, so I'm still waiting to put off my what I'm going to do with my vote. But at the same time, seeing all the members talk about what they have a problem with, I agree with a majority of it. And the fact that this is an unprecedented thing that has never happened in the Hollywood unions before, especially with the solidarity, it makes a big difference. It shows power. They we need each other, right? And that's the part that is frustrating to me. The AMPTP needs laborers, and the unions need the AMPTP. So why we can't meet in the middle, I just don't understand. And these streaming services are no longer experimental. They shouldn't even be called streaming services or new media, because it's not new anymore. It was new 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It was new when Netflix was still shipping DVDs to people and starting their streaming service. Their stock is what, $500, over $500 a share, or some ridiculous number like that. And then you just score $815 million on, basically, you're taking a show and voicing over. That's all they did. They didn't have to shoot a single frame of that. They didn't have to go out and go to location and pay for all these actors or whatever, or pay for these people. They didn't do any of that. They bought a show for whatever amount of money. I guarantee it wasn't $800 million. They buy this show, and then they take it back to the studio. They do some ADR, which is voiceover, and the dubbing is awful. I watched the first 10 minutes of it today. I couldn't get past the dubbing. It drove me nuts. But they made 800, let's just say it cost them $100 million. Just be generous and say they gave the production, the Korean production, $100 million for this project, which is outlandish. I don't think they ever would have done that. But let's just say, for generosity's sake, that they gave them $100 million. They made $715 million. And the only thing they had to do was change audio and maybe do a new cut. They didn't have to shoot a single frame themselves. Didn't cost them any time on set. This is the kind of stuff that frustrates the people that are working, because you're making your money. Netflix, Disney Plus, you're making your money. Amazon Prime, you're making your money, right? So I don't necessarily agree that, well, we don't have the money to do it. Well, you almost made $1 billion on this one show. And you're telling us you don't have the money to give extra, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's very frustrating, and that's why a lot of members are pissed off. So, excuse me, gentlemen and ladies, I'm going to jump in the chat. Mike Mando, I agree. Fingers crossed. Let's hope that everything goes. I mean, as far as we're concerned, the shows we're looking forward to right now, the wheels are still moving forward, but we'll see what happens over the next week or two. Green Lantern, thanks for hanging out with us. Mando Mike, thanks for hanging out with us. Average was with us a little while ago. I don't know if he still is. Shreve sent us the perfect comment for this first, I believe yesterday when we announced the stream. And here we have, so what's the verdict? Is the strike going to go on? So Green Lantern, as of right now, tonight at midnight, the strike is not going to happen as of this moment. So basically, the contract, the negotiators at the table with the AMPTP, the IATSE negotiators for all of the unions sat in a room. From what I understand, there were 60 people in there just from IATSE, not counting the AMPTP negotiators and lawyers. And so as of right now, they've come to what we're calling a tentative deal. Now, this is what Vanity Fair was talking about, reaching a tentative deal. Now, a tentative deal means that both parties have agreed to one contract. So as of right now, the AMPTP and the IATSE negotiators have agreed to a contract. And that's where the tentative deal comes from. However, the deal needs to be ratified by the union members. So that means 60,000 people will again get a ballot. Again, it's an electronic ballot. In the old days, they used to have to send you one, and it took months to get votes in and tallied. Welcome, Fulcrum. But nowadays, with the wonderful internet, once the deal is written out in language that can be understood by everybody, because we're not all lawyers, we will all get sent a copy of the new deal. Now, because most unions went ahead and held some town halls today to describe what's going on, like I said, I've been all over Twitter, I've been all over Instagram, I've been all over Reddit, and basically I haven't found a single member that's not in the leadership that's going to vote yes, which is excessively troubling because I got an itch in my nose. Because that means the strike could still happen. That's what's frustrating, is that in a week or two, the strike could be on. We already heard rumblings of the productions that were anticipating the strike working their people 14-hour days, 15-hour days, to the point where a production assistant actually got in an accident, either I believe driving home from a long day, just the other day, I believe Thursday or Friday. So once the productions found out that the strike could happen, they basically started kicking their crews into overdrive and were working them longer hours and week 6th and 7th day to make sure that they got all of their footage, as much of the show shot as they could, anticipating the strike happen, because this is unprecedented. In 128 years, nothing like this has ever happened in the Hollywood unions. There has never been this kind of solidarity. And frankly, the production world is at a boiling point, right? Because this has been going on forever. I've been working in television for over 15 years, and this has been going on forever. So I don't really know where this goes. So welcome, Fulcrum. It's good to have you here. Yes, I also have a bad feeling about this. I don't really see this just getting swept under the rug and everybody having a good old day and signing this contract and voting yes and calling it a day. There's people that are outright furious. There's people that are being quoted in Vanity Fair. There's people that are being interviewed on the news. So let's see. I'll just go over one. I won't name the individual because I feel that's rude. but an electrician based out of state for California, so I'm just going to say that, said he had not decided how he would vote and that he is more open-minded about the agreement than many of his colleagues. That's the only positive thing I found on the internet about this by somebody that is not on the negotiating team. Let's see here. So we got a lot of what we asked for and compromised very little. That's what our friend from New Mexico said. Let's see. Let's go. Let's find the other members that I was reading earlier. Okay. Let's see. So overall, this is very disheartening, says a gaffer from the local 728. I don't think it will be. I do think it will be rejected. So there are quite a few people out here that have already put their public statements out and said, "I'm voting against this. I want no part in this. This is a frustrating thing." I bet you my color temperature is off. That's why. Yeah. So I just feel like, yeah, it totally is. So we're going to change this down and get this to look normal real quick. So yeah, I just feel like I knew something looked wrong. I just feel like this is going to be a much longer process than everybody thinks. Everybody thinks this is going to be a easy peasy lemon squeezy kind of everybody signs a contract and we keep going. And guys, I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. So we may not be shut down today. Mandalorian crew and cast will show up on set today and they will continue to do their work. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure they will continue to do their work. But once the ratification vote comes out, I don't really think that they will be on set, because as soon as the ratification, here's the difference here. We as the union members voted to give the IATSE president the authorization to vote. So a majority of people voted in the union, 98.6% of the 90 percent that were eligible voted, and gave an authorization to the president to go back to the table and say, look, my members will strike if we don't meet an agreement. Now, we did that whole process. They have finally come to an agreement between the AMPTP and the negotiators for the IATSE. So now this has to go back to the members for ratification. If the members vote no to not ratify this deal, the strike starts immediately after the vote. There is no waiting period. There is no, okay, well, let's take this back to the table. It's a straight strike, and then we go back to square one and start the negotiations over. So it's been several months. This has been going on since June. In June, the contract was up. They were already negotiating. They decided to give it a stay until September. And then in September, this is when the process started again. And unfortunately, nobody was picking up on this until the authorization to vote happened. And then people started to care out of nowhere. So this is still very much up in the air. We're still not there yet. So let's jump back into the chat. Yeah, I would too if they were working me that hard for that long. Yeah. Let's see. Alex83 Ruby. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go ahead and subscribe and like or all that fun stuff. Whatever. If you don't want to, don't. If you do, do. Hey, I don't know how I feel about this because I want more Star Wars, but on the other hand, yeah. I agree. I want more Star Wars. I want all the Star Wars that we were promised over the last couple years. I've been waiting for Kenobi for over 2 years. That's the show that I think has the most lightning in a bottle right now. But I also want people to be able to get home safe at night. I don't want people crashing on their way home because they're falling asleep. I don't want people to not be able to afford their homes because that's another thing people are upset about. A 3% or something like that. Again, I don't know the details until they put out the language, but apparently a lot of people are not happy with the annual raise, I guess, that goes on, the percentage raise. So with inflation and cost of living and all that stuff, people are upset that the annual percentage increase is not larger, because the cost of inflation based on the numbers in Washington are higher than what they're talking about giving. So As much as I want to see the shows, I want people to have good working conditions more. Yeah, I totally agree. Unfortunately, I don't want people to crash. I don't want people to not be able to afford their homes. I don't want people to not be able to afford to put gas in their cars, because the price of gas goes up and down and fluctuates. And right now it's at a high. So this is very frustrating. And like I said, I don't want the strike to happen. I don't want to see people out of work. I don't want to see this affect other people in other agencies such as the DGA or the Actors Guild or anything like that, because those people are also going to be called off of work until this happens. Now, I also don't want some of our actors to move on to other projects. It sucks because it messes with the timeline in which all of them were going to make movies or shows and all of that. So it messes up everybody. It's not just us. It's not just the workers. This screws with the timeline for every show that you see out. And like I said, what are you going to watch at night? If you're a late night person, Kimmel and Fallon are on the bench because their whole crew is union. What are you guys going to watch? You're going to watch ESPN Sports Center all night? You're going to watch reruns? It's very disheartening. It's not just going to affect the Star Wars content. It's going to affect everything you watch weekly on all of the networks you watch them on. Let's see. Mando Mike is, yep, right. So we got a couple rights. Yeah, can we not, with people potentially dying to give us entertainment? I mean, it happens more than you think. These long hours, these 12 plus, 12 hours, whatever, no big deal. When you get into the 14s, 15s, and 16s, that's when things start to get a little shady, start to get a little tough. So found you on X-Wing, did a musical before, and long hours are pretty hard on your body. Yeah, mind, body, and soul, family and friends, projects at home. These are all things that get put on hold so that we go out and do what we do, and we love what we do. We're not complaining about the work, and nobody here is complaining about the work. Nobody in the industry is complaining about the work. People just want to be treated fairly. People want to be able to take their lunch and take it outside on a bench, or go sit in their car and listen to a radio show or a podcast or a book on tape and enjoy their meal, potentially by themselves or with their coworkers. The idea of, staggering lunches and, or here's a 30-minute break, we'll give you another 30-minute break later. Those aren't really breaks. You have just enough time to maybe use the bathroom, grab a snack, and you're back on the floor. There's shows that I have friends on that they sit at their station during lunch and have a working lunch. So they bring them a meal and they sit there and continue to work while trying to eat their meal, assuming nothing happens to where they have to put their meal down and go shoot a scene or something. So this happens all the time, guys. This isn't anything new. This isn't anything. It's a very fair. People want to be treated fairly. Who knew? Yeah. I mean, it like I said, there's a lot of people angry. You can go on Reddit, you can go on Twitter, you can go on Instagram, type in IA Solidarity, type in IA Stories, type in IA Strike, IATSE, all of that stuff. IATSE Solidarity, IATSE Strike, all that fun stuff. You're going to see a lot of people upset about this. And the fact that Vanity and all these other media outlets came out with the deal of the details of the negotiation before the members even found out is excessively frustrating, because that means that somebody leaked that information, and that means that the other side of the table knew the cards that were sitting in our hands, basically. So it's that part is a little frustrating, but what are you going to do? So yeah, the deal, people are upset about the deal. People are upset about the wage increase, the annual wage increase. People are upset about the meal penalties not being what they should be. People are upset about the turnaround. People are upset. Some people are really upset about the contract negotiations outright, saying that they didn't represent their members properly. I'm sure it was tough in that room. I'm sure that there were a lot of people, and there was probably a little bit of yelling and a lot of chaos. And so for right now, we are going to, at midnight, because this is when the strike was supposed to happen at 12:01. So at 12:01, we are going to go ahead and we are going to go ahead at 12:01 and basically applaud the fact that we don't have a strike. So we're going to take just a couple of seconds, doesn't take long. And at 12:01, I'm going to take a moment and we're going to applaud the fact that everything is still running forward. We're not going to ring the bell saying that the strike is happening today. Now, that could happen later on. And now we're applauding for the strike not happening. It's officially 12:01. The strike is not on today. But I do urge you guys to continue to tweet, Instagram, TikTok, whatever your social media preferences, get out there and support the IATSE team. Support the members that are giving you the content. We may not be the storytellers. We're the people behind the lenses, making sure that everything looks, sounds, and is well. So get out there and make sure, support all of these people. Tag anybody you know that is in any of these unions, and make sure you get out there and make your voice heard, because this is going to affect a lot more if it happens. Like I said, as of right now, as of today, as of 12:01, Monday, October 18th, the strike is not happening. Okay, it is on hold as of right now because of the tentative deal on the table. So thank your stars. The Mandalorian cast will show up tomorrow morning at 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever time their call is, and they will continue to shoot the Mandalorian season 3. The people that are editing, effects driving, and voiceover and all that fun stuff that happens after principal shooting is done, those people are still behind their computers doing their work. The deep fake folks are still doing their work. The volume people are still doing their work as of right now, as of today. Now, that could absolutely change in a week. That could absolutely change in 2 weeks, because the members have the ultimate decision on what they're going to do. So that's where the cards lay as of tonight. I wanted to stay up till midnight. I wanted to give you guys this information in real time, knowing that the strike is not going to happen today. However, the ratification vote is still going to happen. The union members have the final decision on whether to take the deal that's been given or to strike. We will see what happens over the course of the next, I'm just going to put a label on it and say 2 weeks. So hopefully before Halloween, we will know 100% whether the contract has been ratified and everybody goes back to work and everybody continues to do their stuff, or by Halloween, we will have a union strike that puts all 2022 Star Wars content at risk. All of it. Book of Boba could be doing some coloring right now. They could be doing some re-edits to final it out. They could be doing some ADR. They could be doing some reshoots. We don't know what the status of that show is, even though the air date is less than 75 days away. 75 days is still a long time for the premiere. We don't know if they're still working on the season finale. We don't even know if they're working on things later in the series, right? We don't know where they're at with final productions. It could be in the can. It could be all in the can, ready to go, put it on the reel, spin it, let's go. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's 100% ready yet, because things could change and they need to do a reshoot. Or, oh, we found that continuity in the 15th watch. We got to reshoot this. Or, oh, the audio doesn't sound great. We got to re-ADR this. We don't know what's going to happen. And when these Mandalorian helmets, you don't see lips. So most of that is in the ADR studio. Most of that is sitting in a microphone in a nice, quiet room reading your lines. There's a lot at stake here, people. Boba could be in jeopardy still. Kenobi could still be in jeopardy for a later release date. Mandalorian season 3, if we strike in the next 2 weeks, it's definitely going to put that show on a later trajectory. Andor, Ahsoka are supposed to happen 2023, could now happen later in 2023, maybe 2024. I've been waiting too long for this stuff, people. Been waiting years for Kenobi. Been waiting years for Kenobi. Literally, they shot the show and they went back to rewrite a page one rewrite because it sucked. Come on, guys. We've been waiting a long time for this stuff, and it's on the brink of being pushed back to we don't know when. Because this strike could last 90 days, 3 months, which puts us into the new year. Right? This is it's very dangerous territory, my friends. It's very, very dangerous territory. I worry so much, not just for money, not just for workers, for the shows that we've been waiting for. Could not even air in 2022. If the strike happens at Halloween, what if they have to push Boba? I don't really know. And with the news that Netflix made $815 million on a show that they purchased, a Korean game show that they purchased and just redubbed, repackaged, and sent it back out on their stream. Amazing that they're still unwilling to negotiate to give people that living wage. Let's see. Yeah. So it's madness, people. I wanted to make sure I told you all I was going to be here. Stayed up late just for you guys, just to drop this information in real time. And like I said, there's still a lot of steps. There's still a lot of steps going on. And everybody tomorrow morning, everybody, everybody and their mom is going to be out here with a union strike isn't happening. It's over. Star Wars is saved. It's not saved. Don't be fooled, because this is just a moment, a tentative deal, if you will. It's not over. And the members are pissed. The members are outright pissed from all different unions, are furious about this deal because it looks exactly like the same deal as before with a couple of little itty bitty changes. There's nothing major that changed. So the members are upset. So, like I said, when I find out when I get the language on the contract, I will make sure to bring it out here and not necessarily put all the pages out on the internet, but I will get in here and I will break down to you anything that I see that looks suspect, anything that I see that looks great. But ultimately, close friends of mine have been texting me all day. Ever since we had our town hall, I've been getting texts from friends all day long saying, we're voting no. No, I'm not voting yes on this. No. It's been pretty unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen. 128 years. This has never happened until now, because the networks and the studios understood that the workers are the heart and blood of their productions. And for some reason, this new media streaming services feel that they are above us, above it, I guess. I'm not saying Disney, because I know a lot of people that work Disney, and I know a lot of people that say they have pretty decent working conditions. But that's not every show, and that's not every day. So it's unfortunate. I recommend getting on all of these social media sites and looking at some of these stories. Even some stories from just this week are coming out about productions, working people. What was it? It was over a 15-hour day, I think, where this kid got in a car accident. A PA got in a car accident, and the union got involved and made some phone calls to the production, actually to the labor board, and found out and were told, you're going to wrap it this time. And it had to be spread around the whole set, so that to let everybody know, the labor board said we have to wrap it this time because of what happened. It's bad when the labor board has to get involved. When somebody gets hurt, it's a very big deal. When somebody gets in a car accident or somebody gets hurt on set because they're being ground into the ground to dust, so to speak, and it affects you on your way home and you don't make it home safe, that's when things go bad. That's when things come out, and that's when things get worse. So let's T Davidson, how's it going, my guys? Been a long time. Charlie, what's up, my guy? As I'm going to bed, 5 a.m. is getting close, but had to pop in. Always cool seeing your face. Hey, my guy, get some rest, Charlie. Thank you for stopping by for a few minutes and saying hello. I stayed up late just for this. I'm going to stream for like another 20 and bam, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for, and like I said, guys, there's links all over the place. There's petitions that you guys can sign. You don't have to be a part of the union to sign these things and to be in solidarity and to, so get out there, Twitter, Instagram, search Reddit. There's all kinds of petitions out there to let these union officials know and these AMPTP professionals know how we feel and that we support the workers. So genuinely nervous, but fingers crossed for the best outcome. Yeah, I mean, basically tonight we're good. Today we're good. That's what's important. Today we're good. So again, we're going to give a big round of applause to the AMPTP and the IATSE lawyers and negotiators for making sure that everybody is going back to work this morning. Everybody on the set of Mandalorian, working on Kenobi, Boba Fett, Andor, Ahsoka, anybody who's working anywhere is going to work today, and that's good news. No one is losing money. No one is having to stop working today. But keep your eyes out because it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, this isn't over. This is honestly, this is probably just the beginning. It's not over. I wish it was because it's a lot of stress on my year. I've been waiting for 2022 for quite a long time. I've been waiting for Kenobi. Kenobi's the one I've been dying to watch. My eyeballs cannot wait to see what an amazing experience that's going to be. But we got to get through this first. We got to get through this first. This is going to be potentially an unprecedented event if the union members don't ratify the contract and decide to strike. It's going to get ugly, guys. There's already a lot of people that are having a hard time just affording their living wage as it is without going on strike and putting their paychecks on hold. People are ready for change. And a lot of members feel like the IATSE lawyers didn't go far enough. They could have gone farther. They could have done more, but they didn't. A lot of people in the unions are feeling very let down by their representatives right now. I witnessed it, just seen the reactions on people's faces during the town hall today, just for my union. Just for the union I'm in, had over 500 people on a Zoom meeting. It's really amazing. And it's really uncanny to see the solidarity that's going on across the country. It's amazing. And, you know, as always, when the members, like I said, last stream, I believe it was on maybe the Boomer Council. When the strike happens, I encourage the actors that have nothing to do because they're sitting on set with no crew to come on my show, to come join my channel and tell me what you think about this. Tell me what's going on set. Get on live with me and stream with me from the set. I don't have to see anything. Your dressing room or green room is fine. I'm cool with that. But come on and let us know what's going on. Tell us what the atmosphere is like. I would love to have Carl Weathers or Katie Sackhoff come on and just tell us what the energy's like when the IATSE members walk away. Because I believe it's still going to happen. This tentative deal that's on the table, I don't think it's a good enough deal for a lot of people. I think there's going to be an abundance of no votes to ratify this, and potentially we could see a strike. I like I said, I need to read the language first, but I know a lot of people are already upset and are ready to punch their ticket and vote no. And that's very frustrating. Let's see. Somebody new. Chillmonger. Welcome. Welcome. The deadline was today. The deadline was today at 12:01, but they came to a tentative agreement, which means that the wheels will keep spinning. All of the IATSE members will continue to go to work until the contract is ratified. So the ratification process usually takes about a week, or 2, to get the language worked out to send the contract to all of the members across. There's 60,000 members that need to read this contract and look at it and look at the verbiage and then decide what their vote is going to be. Yes or no. Yes, we ratify and keep working under this contract, or no, we don't ratify and we strike and go back to the negotiating table from square one. So that could be very bad because it took them about 6 months to get to this point. Again, this happened in July, everybody. June is when this original contract was slated for negotiation and set to be done. They kicked the can down the road until September, and then here we are mid-October with a tentative deal. Again, it's tentative because the AMPTP and the IATSE lawyers and negotiators agreed on a deal, and now that needs to go to the members for ratification. So we'll see what happens over the course of the next couple of weeks, but so far I've only found 1 or 2 members that are voting yes across the internet. That's not even in my circle. That's just people on Reddit and Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, the deadline was today. The ratification process will start in about a week. I'm just going to say it from the people I listen to. Christmas is going to be good, and next year it's going to look very different in a really good way. Yeah, I hope so. Let's see. So that's a week extension is that week extension. Yes. That week extension is going to be essential. I would take 4 episodes of Mando and then a long break. Yeah. They might not even be that deep into shooting Mando. So, I mean, Carl Weathers' first day was like last week, I think. So, I mean, they're not very deep into Mando right now, into shooting Mando. They may be done with principal shooting on a couple other shows, but that doesn't mean they're not still working on visual effects, ADR, voiceover, deep fake, all that fun stuff. There's still a lot of after post-production that goes on to make these shows what they are. And I fear that a lot of them are going to get postponed, my friends. I fear that. I genuinely do. So do yourselves a favor, get on Reddit, get on Twitter, get on all these social media, get on Vanity Fair, go to LA Times, look up as much information on this as you can. I am going to try to keep you guys as posted as I can without violating any, without compromising any information that's out there. So my goal is to fan films. Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of fan films. There'll probably be a lot of people out of work, and I know I will be making phone calls if they do go on strike to get all the camera people and lighting folks that are on strike to maybe come work on a fan fiction of my own. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. I really recommend you do your homework on this. Don't just take it from me. Get out there. I encourage people to always check my facts because I am never perfectly right. I read articles that are bad sometimes. Sometimes I get bad information. But today, just witnessing the people's faces in the town hall, a lot of people are upset, and I'm not sure how the members of my union are going to vote or any of the other unions because a lot of people are really upset about this. Oh, hello. Hey, Daryl, here showing his support. Pom-poms and rah-rahs. So, yeah, we are, like I said, man, we are, right now, the wheels are still spinning, so everybody should be, we're going to do it again. We're going to give everybody a big round of applause for all the work they did to get this contract to where it is and to get it ready for the lawyers for ratification. And we will see what the vote looks like come the ratification vote. Like I said, that's when things are going to get a little fuzzy. That's when things are going to get a little scary because that's the vote that really matters. And so far, the vote is looking like a lot of people are unhappy and are going to vote no. Again, I have to see the paperwork. I have to see the language. But just based on what I heard today, I don't know what to do. And friends are upset. Coworkers are upset. The internet's upset about this. And it's frustrating, guys. It's frustrating. Oh, shit. Hell has frozen over. He comes up for air. Amazing. Hope your trip has been fantastic. You've missed a lot of fun conversations while you've been away winning the Tournament of Kings at your um, European vacation. But welcome to the evening show. I'm sure you're probably still in Europe, I'm guessing, being as you're awake right now and probably close to sitting in an airport, maybe on your way home. I don't know. So welcome, X-Wing, to our little thing we're doing tonight. Yeah, back tomorrow. That's good. Yeah. So as of right now, everybody can sleep tight, grab your teddy bear, grab your pillow, hug it tight, because everything's okay tonight. But in a week or two, it could get back to scary. So enjoy your good dreams tonight, everybody. Enjoy holding hope, because hope is still alive as of today. The wheels are still spinning, and the shows are continuing as of right now. But in about a week or so, and I'm trying not to be Chicken Little here. I'm trying not to be the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down. I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be realistic and give you guys the feeling that I'm getting from other people in my industry. I'm trying to not offer my personal opinion right now until I have all of the information. But based on what I see, there are a lot of people that are upset, and I wish that they weren't. I wish that the contract was better. I wish it really met more people's expectations. But I think, it I really don't know which direction it's going to go, guys. I really don't. I really don't. I really hope that, I don't know. And I'm, unfortunately, the word on the street right now is not very positive. So I encourage you guys to sleep tight, knowing that Mandalorian season 3 is still shooting as of this morning at Monday, and they will continue to work on all the shows. But this is basically gonna get better, worse, and ugly in the next 2 weeks, because when the ratification vote comes out, it's gonna be crazy. So X-Wing says we have to chat. We will chat. You'll be back soon. You'll be stateside. You'll be here. You'll be able to send texts and make phone calls and all that fun stuff. You'll be able to be in time with the American crew because you've been on the European timeline right now, but you'll be back, man. We'll get to chatting and we'll get all our fun subject of conversation ironed out. Let's see. Chillmonger says, nah, I have to hope that they wrap filming by tomorrow. Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad that everybody's still showing up tomorrow. I'm glad that everybody's still shooting tomorrow. But I think it's just a pause. I think it's just a pause. I think that the real shitstorm is still ahead. It's still coming, unfortunately, guys. I really think that this is the eye of the storm, so to speak. This is the eye of the shitstorm. And I feel like right now it's just a nice calm lull before things start to pick up again and pick up houses and start throwing them at us. So, yeah, I unfortunately that's what I think. I don't know what the language is, but that's what I'm getting. Can we say new Hollywood? All the people possibly starting out making a new Hollywood. Yeah. There's been a lot of people that are unhappy. I had this conversation with Cash on Daryl's stream yesterday, and with Cash Money, and there's a lot of people that have left California because of the politics, because of this, that, or the other, whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of people that have left California and headed out to Texas. Texas is a big place people like to go. Orlando is a big place people like to go. Even Nevada at one point was starting to get some attention for maybe being the next Hollywood. But Hollywood is going to be Hollywood until it falls into the ocean. Until California just falls right into the ocean, Hollywood's always going to be Hollywood. So it's always going to be the mecca of television and movie production. That's never going to change until California just flops right into the ocean. Let's see. We were in peace talks with Japan when they decided to hit Pearl Harbor. Yeah, it's not over, guys. I really wish it was over. I really wish that the deal was signed, sealed, delivered. But like I said, I I wasn't going to get hopeful, and I wasn't going to put this stream on hold until I saw a signed seal delivered. Notice, this may be a stupid question. There's no such thing as stupid questions, only stupid answers. This may be a stupid question, but is there any way the workers can work in secret? I get paid in cash. No. Unfortunately, with union contracts, the studios that are hiring these people and working under these contracts, these contracts are pretty ironclad. And if they did hire other people, they would be in breach, which would cause lawsuits and all kinds of craziness. So no, there's no way to scab this kind of stuff up. If the union goes on strike, everything shuts down. There's no bringing in less experienced people. There's no none of that shit can happen. These deals are pretty ironclad, and the productions know that if this strike happens, that their people will be leaving, because they will be leaving. Everybody except for the upper management will be leaving. Production managers, line producers, all these people are in unions also. Whether their unions are involved in the strike or not, I don't know. But yeah, none of the workers can just get paid. Yeah, we'll see. Hope it gets resolved quickly. Me too. Like I said, as of right now, there is a tentative deal on the table. A bunch of people are basically saying they're going to wipe their butt with this contract and vote no. I got to see it first, but I think this is just a stay in execution. I think this is just a pause, like I said, and we're going to see what the how the members vote. That's the next vote on the table. Let's go to Green Lantern. I mean, with all the content creators and new tech people like us, I think can really give Hollywood a good run for their money. Look, Star Wars Theory has put out some amazing content. There's Shamook, I think it is, the deepfake guy. He's put out some amazing stuff. There's amazing content creators on YouTube. But without that budget, we're never going to be able to really compete, right? You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, right? No matter how much talent you have, you're never going to be able to compete with that. They just have too much money. So I do think there are going to be a lot of more fanfics. I think there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more stuff on YouTube, but this could put the brakes on a bunch of stuff, and I really hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. I really hope that this deal. We'll see if it gets ratified. It's not looking promising yet, but we'll see if it gets ratified, and if it does, great. If there's enough members that vote yes, sweet. Then everybody keeps rolling. But if the majority, and from what I learned today, it's 50% plus one vote. So that's the margin. It's a majority rules. So if 29,999 people vote yes for the deal and 30,001 person vote for no, then they strike. That's how it works. So it's a 51-49. That's how it works. One vote over the 50% margin and the strike happens. So yeah. I want to bet. What are we betting? I bet a lot. What are we betting? Let me know. Let's see. I'm gonna bankrupt Hollywood when my OF goes online. Jesus. No offense, but I don't know the meaning of the word quit. Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, it would be very hard for me to walk off a set if they called a strike. It would be very difficult for me to put my toys down and walk away, because I am a workaholic and I am a bit of a perfectionist. And both of those things together, walking away from a gig, is very difficult. I've never walked off a day of work ever. I've always finished the day, and whether I left a show or left this or left that, I've never just walked before. So to have to do that would be very weird. And I'm very, very nervous for the people that I know that work in Hollywood that are working on big feature films, because I mean, the same thing for Kimmel and Fallon and Colbert and all these late night shows. All those people, those shows won't go on. And that's the danger. The real danger is to the studios. The real danger is to the, ABC, not so much, because ABC is owned by Disney. ESPN, Hulu, those are all owned by Disney, so those don't really count in this affair because Disney owns them. So the capital there to sustain the network is there. The networks that could be at risk: the WB, Paramount, NBC, CBS, I mean, any of the big networks. Those are the studios that are in danger because they don't have the capital that, I mean, look what Netflix just dropped. Netflix just announced $815 million on the Squid Games. I'm going to say that again. $815 million to buy a Korean game show, redub the audio, and put it out on your stream. But you don't have enough to cover the living wage of the people working for you. I don't understand that logic. You can't have those two statements come out in the same day. You have a tentative deal that the members are pissed off about, and yet Vanity Fair posts the same day that $815 million was made by Netflix on a show they bought from Korea, and they redubbed it in English and put it out on the airwaves. That's what bothers most of the members. X-Wing, gotta go shower up and leave in 2.5 hours. See you soon. Travel safe, friend. Enjoy the ride home and rest up because there's a lot of stuff to talk about when you get home. So be good, be safe. We'll see you soon. Reality TV is going to make a comeback. There's no comeback, my guy. Chillmonger, there is no comeback. It's here. It's already here. There's more reality television being shot in the world today than there ever has been. I know 4 or 5 people that are out all over the country right now that are shooting massive reality shows. That's what the writer's strike gave us in 2007. If you want to blame anybody for the success of reality television, it's the writer's strike of 2007. That's when reality TV really broke out. Travel safe, X. Travel safe, dude. Peace out, X-Wing. Dude, I'm with you. Corporations are let's see, at least the bozos who control it. Yeah, and like I said, guys, it's very nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking for the industry. I don't want the streaming services to be able to buy Fox, CBS, NBC, Paramount, WB, all of these different studios and networks. I don't want Netflix and Apple and Disney and Amazon Prime to be able, or Amazon Video, to be able to buy these companies because they're losing money because they're not putting out content because of the strike. I don't want these streaming new media services to buy the old media studios and then have a monopoly, right? Because then the streaming services own everything. And that's where the real danger lies here, guys. Yes, it affects the average workers. If they stop working, they lose paychecks. It's already a tough time after a pandemic. There's so much that has already been taken and not been able to get because of work not being there, because of people not being able to get back on set, or because you got sick and you were down for 2 weeks and you already lost money. There's all kinds of reasons that people are already hurting. We don't need to add to it by having this strike, but I don't really see any other way to get the message heard. The workers need to be compensated for the work they're doing, and they need to be able to eat and get rest before the next day of work. These are not outlandish things to be asking for. The military has protocols in place to make sure you're always rested and ready. Why isn't television following that kind of strategy, game plan? But instead, new media wants to, to the point where they were putting people into 14-hour days. A kid just got hurt because they're doing 6th and 7th day, trying to shove as much stuff into the bag before the potential strike was going to happen. Now they got another 2 weeks before the ratification vote comes out to be able to get those people and get more of that content shot before the ratification votes, before the potential strike. Like I said, guys, this isn't over. We're going to cut this. It's been an hour. Thank you, everybody who's been here. Please tell your friends to check this stream out. Please tell your friends to get out there and check out IATSE Solidarity on all the platforms. Check out IA Stories. Check out IATSE Strike. All of those places will give you good information. and good stories to base your opinion on what's going on. If there's any other questions, please drop them in. I'm going to leave this up for another couple of minutes, but I think we're going to jump on out of here. I think I've occupied enough of your time on this, and I feel like I've given you guys all the information I really have at this moment that I can give out. So thank you, everybody, for coming by, checking this stream out. Thank you for caring enough about what's going on in the world with this IATSE strike and with the Star Wars and Marvel content that's coming out next year, because you guys are the ones that you're the whole reason I'm here. I have the information already. I just wanted to provide it to you guys so that you guys have the most information as to what's going on, and so that you guys can get out there and show your support on any of these petitions or websites or whatever it is out there that shows your support for these workers, for the people that are providing you this content and breaking their backs doing it. So thank you guys for coming, and I really appreciate everybody for hanging out. It's late. I know it's late, but I was going to be here if the strike happened. I wanted to make sure to ring the bell and start the strike with you guys. Now, one last time, I'm going to give the negotiators and all of the negotiators, the IATSE and the AMPTP, for at least doing some work. You sat in a room for all these days, so you get a round of applause. So we're going to do it one more time as we close out this stream. Again, everybody, take care of your neighbor, take care of your friends, look out for one another, be kind to one another. And as always, may the force be with you. We're going to give these guys one last round of applause and cut this thing out. Thank you very much, Chillmonger. It was great. I'm glad you stopped by and checked out what's going on here at the Star Wars Obsession. Thank you for stopping by. You're the newest person in here, I believe, today. You and there was one more new person I wanted, Alex 83 Ruby. You guys are the two new people I'd never seen in here before, so thank you for stopping by and joining me on this little adventure. It's been a interesting night to have this conversation on. I hope everybody has a great day, and again, here's our round of applause for all of the negotiators. So thank you, everybody, and as always, take care of your feathers, take care of your feathers, take care of your fellow friends, take care of your family. Please be safe out there. I want to see you guys on the next stream and on all the other streams we